Hello once again, players of good video games. My name is Nick Pell, and this is the review for Infamous Second Son. Now, this game came out a few months ago, so I know that this review is very late, but I just recently got a PS4, and I got the game, so I'm going to review it. So, Infamous Second Son deals with Delsin Rowe. He is the main protagonist of this game, and he is the main character that we play as. We meet him as a delinquent. He is a graffitier. That's kind of what he does a lot of the time. We see him doing this, and then he ends up encountering a conduit. These are people with powers, and Delsin's power is the ability to absorb other conduits' powers by touching them. He can absorb an infinite amount of powers that we know of, but he only does 3 main ones in this game. The first power that he gets is smoke, and this is basically what he uses for the first third of the game, and then he runs into another conduit who gives him the power of neon, and then he runs into a third one who gives him the power of video. And these 3 powers are all very distinct in terms of how they look. Smoke obviously looks like smoke, neon looks like neon, and video looks like video. That being said, besides just a few basic things with certain abilities, most of the powers are very similar. They all put their own spin on certain attacks, but they all do the same basic thing, just in their own various ways. So that was a little bit frustrating that you were able to do basically the exact same thing with all 3 powers, just in a different type of format. The karmaic system is also back in this game from the first 2 games. The actions that Delsin does in Seattle, where the game takes place, determine what type of powers he is able to unlock, and the different reactions of different characters around him. My only real issue with this was that no matter what side you're really choosing, either good or evil, the main scenes of the game are not influenced by this whatsoever, except for maybe the way that you look slightly. This is the only real thing that kind of bugged me about it, is that you could slaughter 1,000 innocent people, and your brother Reggie, who's with you the whole time, he's a cop, he's a sheriff, and he will not react to it whatsoever, except for the scenes in which you have to make a karmaic choice. And that was something which didn't really seem realistic to me. It's just, you would think that he would respond a little bit more harshly, or at least the scenes would change based on the choices that you made, and they didn't really. The story for the game is actually fairly straightforward. Delsin acquires his smoke powers, and then he runs into a woman named Augustine who runs this organization called the DUP, and their goal is to bring in and capture conduits who are deemed as a threat to society, and keep them held up, and she ends up doing experiments on them. When she's trying to interrogate Delsin, she ends up attacking and hurting much of Delsin's people, and in order to go and undo that process, he needs to get her stone power and essentially defeat her. And so that's his main objective and goal in the game, and so we get to that confrontation towards the very end. The story in and of itself is actually fairly short. It's only about 6 or 7 hours, I would guess, but there's so many different things that you can do in this game that it really seems like a lot longer. You can look for blast shards, which you use to upgrade your powers. You can choose to do good or evil actions. You can stop drug dealers in their tracks, or you can go and kill civilians at a conduit protest rally. You can just do a bunch of different things, and it really gives you a lot to do in terms of saving different districts. There's a lot to do in that regard, and it's just kind of a neat little thing. It's just really neat to see a lot of different options to do in this open world game, and the trophies in the game are actually fairly good. They're fairly easy to get, actually, which makes it kind of nice. Graphics-wise, Infamous looks great. On the PS4, it looks really nice. I only noticed a few graphical hiccups that occurred, and they don't really occur all that often, but when they do, they are fairly noticeable. But as a whole, there's no load time, there's no lag, there's no anything like that, and that was something I really enjoyed. There's also some small Easter eggs in the game itself in reference to the past Infamous titles, so make sure to keep a lookout for that. But overall, I really did enjoy Infamous Second Son. It was a really fun introduction to the power of the PS4, and I had a lot of fun playing it. I'm assuming that there will be a sequel at some point in the future, in the next few years. I really hope that there is, because I want to see where Delsin's character takes him with the choices that he makes towards the end of the game itself in the good campaign. That's my review. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on gaming.
You were in trouble, so I came running. I couldn't have done it without you. Oh wait, I already did. Speaking of, man, you're not gonna believe what I can do now. As soon as I figure out what it is that I can do.
One important thing is you got a kidnapper off the streets.
Whoa, bro, not kidnapper. He's more like a rescuer.
Delsin, listen to me. He took suspected conduits right off the street.
Yeah.
Against their will. That's kidnapping.
Okay, don't go anywhere. First of all, thank you for using the word conduit. Second of all, why are you being such a dick?
Look. Fine. Let's just agree to disagree. But we both know it's better for everyone if he goes in a cage.
Just hang out for a second. Can I talk to you? I thought you were all about rule of law and not locking up people without due process.
Hey, normally, that's what I do.
Oh, what, so it just gets thrown out the window whenever it's convenient for you? Is that it? Just put a red wig and an old trench coat on, you start calling you Augustine.
Maybe next Halloween.
Cool. So, Game Boy and I over there are gonna have a little conversation, conduit to conduit. No normals allowed?
Fine. If you need me, be right outside.
Okay. Owen, thank you for all your help. Couldn't have done it without you. Oh, wait, I already did.
I know. It wasn't funny the first time.
So, Eugene, my brother, what do you say? You and me, a couple conduits, we hit the town, you teach me some of those video tricks, I teach you how to pick up girls, and we take our power to the people.
Well, I'd like to find the Russians that were picking on the suspected conduits and kicking the shit out of them for a change.
Dude, I want to party with you. The date then, yeah?
Right.
We will rise up, and we will teach them to accept us, even if it kills them.